So 5 things that, as the company raising funds, you'll want to make sure in your term sheet are, firstly, the nature of the investment. So what is it that the investor is going to get for their investment? Most commonly, this will be shares, but it could be something different, like a convertible note. The next one is the price, or the amount payable for the investment. You need to be very clear on what they're paying you, for example, the price per share, and when they are paying this amount. Are they paying it all up front in one lump sum, or perhaps in tranches over time? The next one is any conditions to the investment. So an important one for actually both parties is to make sure that the investment is conditional on entry into the formal legal documents, such as the subscription agreement or the shareholder agreement. You will also need to make sure that it is very clear what terms of the term sheet are binding and what terms are not. Another term that is important to include in your term sheet are any key agreements as to the shareholders agreement. The shareholders agreement will be negotiated at a later stage in time, but it can be helpful to have these discussions now to make sure that you don't lose your investor further down the track because you're at odds on any particular term to go into the shareholders agreement. The investor will also want to include a number of things in the term sheet. So 5 things that the investor may be looking for include milestones. They may ask the company to perform certain tasks or meet certain key indicators by certain dates and insert some sort of consequence for not reaching those. For example, if they are paying their investment in tranches and a certain milestone is not met, the next tranche of investment may not be forthcoming. They may also ask for founder commitments from you. So that is a commitment that you will perhaps stay in your role in the business for a minimum period of time, or that you'll maintain a certain minimum threshold of shareholding to ensure you have some sort of skin in the game. An investor may also ask for reporting obligations, so some sort of periodic report from the company as to perhaps the financial status of the company or where you're at with your product or technology development. An investor may also ask to include a term on employee share schemes, that is, a statement as to whether there will or will not be an employee share scheme and what number of shares will be set aside in the company for employees to take up. So this brings me to my final general comment about term sheets. Generally, they are not binding on the parties. That means one party cannot compel the other party to comply with what it has agreed to do in the document. Some terms will be binding, for example, the boilerplate, the confidentiality clause, but generally they're not. However, having said that, as between the parties, they will probably consider the terms as binding, as the deal being done. And if you try to change the terms of the deal further down the line, this will probably be met with resistance.